Hello, welcome to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I run into a little bit of an issue, a small problem, a conundrum perhaps. And I also want to apologize as this intro is going to be a little bit longer than most of my normal ones. There's a reason for this, and I hope you guys bear with me and listen. I will get to some gameplay and stuff before the end of this, so don't worry. But I logged into Steam today and I saw UnderRail by Stygian Software released today on Steam, and I checked it out and I'm like, ooh, this looks amazing. I checked out the video, looked at the screenshots, read about it, and then I even, which I don't usually do, went down into the Steam reviews and checked out what they had to say. Now, I don't put a lot of credence into Steam reviews because I feel anyone can do it, and most of the people are just jerks for the reason of being jerks. That's why you see a lot of games that are actually fantastic that have a lot of negative reviews. Some of them are founded, some of them are unfounded. So, it is what it is, but this game had pretty much overwhelmingly positive review section, so I was like, hey, that's cool, and it kind of explained a little bit more about the game to me, which is pretty neat. So here's where I started to run into an issue at first. This is my first issue that I ran into. So my first issue was, I'm checking out the game, I like it, and I'm like, I'd love to cover it. Should I reach out to the developer? Should I just grab the game? Should I play it on my own? Should I cover it on the channel? And then I started talking myself out of getting it because, well, you have so many games you're already covering, and then I tried talking myself back into it because, sure, you have so many games that you're covering, but over the last 2 months, you've knocked out about 5 games. You're getting pretty close to the end of HOM 7 and pretty close to the end of XCOM Long War, so there may be some more time and space, but then again, you also wanted to go back to several of the games that you backseated, like the Risen series, Wasteland 2, Pillars of Eternity, Shadowrun Hong Kong. These are all games that I plan to go back to. So where would I find the time? Could I make the time? What's the deal? So I kind of went back and forth in my mind. I'm like, I'll come back to this later and see. So I went and checked my email, and sure enough, the developer said, hey, cover this. Here you go, man. Here's the game. Cover it for me. I love you. I don't know if he said all that stuff, but the game was in my email. I loaded it up. I played around with it, changed some settings, did just some little fiddling here and there. I gotta say, I like the game. I haven't gone too far into it. In fact, I only played around in the tutorial area a little bit. That was about it. There's some stuff I'm not super thrilled with, but I mean, overall, the game seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. That being said, here's where my actual conundrum or my problem really lies. What do I do with this game? Do I do it as a first look miniseries, a 1 to 3 episode thing that shows off some of the gameplay, some of the story, and gives you guys enough content that you can make an educated choice as to whether or not you actually want to play the game, grab it for yourself, what the case is? Or are you guys interested enough in the game to actually watch me do a full LP? Because if there's a lot of hubbub and a lot of people are like, yeah, Bumpy, go for it. We want to see what you got. Play the game. Then I'll do that. I'm totally willing to do that as well. But it's going to be up to you guys to decide. Do we go first look or do we go full LP? Now, I don't know. This might be my next big break. We go from Xenonauts to Battle Brothers to HOM 7 to UnderRail. Maybe that's how it's going to be, and I'm going to get another big boost, and we're going to have thousands of people watching this. They're going to love it. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is I'm doing a long-winded intro to this game, so let's break it off there. I want you guys to leave comments down below in the comment section. Obviously, you can't leave it like in the description or on the video itself. You have to leave it in the comment section. But let me know what you guys want to see. Do you want to see just a short 1 to 3 episode miniseries? A first look, if you will, or do you want to see a full LP? So, what is UnderRail? Finally, we get to the meat of it, ladies and gentlemen. UnderRail is a post-apocalyptic, top-down, turn-based strategy game. It's very similar to, if you guys think back, Fallout 1, Fallout Tactics, and Fallout 2 were all that kind of game, right? cRPG, top-down, turn-based tactics. Then when you got into Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4, it switched to a first-person, shoot-'em-up type game, right? So this is back the old school classic Fallout games, and this is what you should expect when playing it. It's very similar to that. So without any further ado, without any further hubbub, it's been about 4 minutes and about 4.5 minutes of me doing my intro here. I do apologize for the long intro, but let's actually hop into the game and get started. Alright, let's get the new game underway, shall we? Alright, so we have easy, normal, and hard. Basically, easy is you have more health on your character, medkits are more effective, and they have a lower cooldown. And then hard is the opposite, where you have less health, more or less healing from the medkits, and a longer cooldown. The experience system I find to be pretty interesting. The classic system is as you would expect. You gain experience by killing enemies, completing quests, and utilizing certain skills. I imagine the certain skills are going to be stuff like lockpicking, hacking, things like that. Whereas the oddity system, you gain experience by collecting oddities scattered across UnderRail and by completing quests. Higher-end oddities are found in progressively more dangerous and hard-to-access areas. No experience is granted for skill usage or killing, though some oddities are only dropped by murdering creatures. So I'm going to go with the classic system. I like that a little bit better. Now here is the ridiculously huge amount of customization and stuff you can do in this game for the character customization. It is insane. I mean, there's hundreds, it seems like hundreds of things in this. We're going to go with the name that was never given to the guy in The Fall of the Dungeon Guardians. I totally forgot the name of the game there. Studs McGee. There we go. So that's going to be our boy there. And we're going to go and we're going to find ourselves an amazing portrait. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Oop. There's a whammy. That's what I want right there. Alright, we're going to check over the stats real quick, guys, and we'll try to make an educated guess. I kind of know what kind of character I want to play. I have no idea if it's going to be good or bad. I really don't know. So we're going to play around. I may be making horribly stupid, awful choices. You guys can laugh at me. I really don't know what I'm doing, but we'll play with it, and we'll try to get as far as we can. So, strength measures the character's muscle power. It affects melee and carrying capacity. It's also important for characters who intend to use heavier weapons, such as sniper and assault rifles, or sledgehammers for that matter. Dexterity measures the character's reflexes, hand-eye coordination, and finger nimbleness. Or nimbleness for those of you who aren't choking on their own vomit. I'm kidding. It affects many things such as operating locks, thievery, throwing, and initiative. It increases critical strike chance of melee attacks. High dexterity also reduces action point cost of unarmed and light weapons such as pistols, SMGs, knives, throwing knives, and fist weapons. We'll go down to agility. Agility represents characters' reflexes, fleet-footedness, as well as affinity toward other athletic and acrobatic activities. Among other things, it affects dodge, evasion, initiative, and movement points. It also allows the character to move more quietly, increasing the stealth performance. Down to Constitution. Constitution represents the health and general stamina of your character. It is important for all types of characters, but especially for those who plan on making the armor suit their main defense. It also helps prevent or lessen the effects of poisons and diseases. Finally, we have Perception. Next we have Perception. Perception represents characters' ability to discern objects from far away, as well as to notice hidden things in their vicinity. It helps the character to use ranged weapons more effectively, as well as detect hidden objects, passages, and creatures. We have Will. Will measures character's mental determination to see to his actions regardless of various mental difficulties, such as pain, suggestion, and overwhelming odds, as well as to force his will upon others and the environment. It heavily affects all side disciplines as well as psi point regeneration. And finally, we come to Intelligence. Intelligence determines how well the character learns and reasons. It is important for a character that focuses on science, as all disciplines are dependent on it. It also affects psi point regeneration. Alright, well, I'm not going to go with the psi point anything, so we're going to lower these down as low as we can. I'm going to go 1 point in strength, I'm going to go 1 point in constitution, 2 into agility, 2 into dexterity, I think I'm going to go with 2 into perception, and I may go with 1 more into agility. So my plan is I'm going to be a thievy type guy. I'm going to use a dagger. I'm going to go for backstabs. I'm going to go for stealth. We're going to try to be basically like a rogue, if you will. I shouldn't need will or intelligence. That's my guess. I have no idea. I could be totally wrong. I know I'm going to need a little bit of strength because I plan to use some melee weapons along with some throwing weapons. I'm going to also need constitution because, of course, it's going to give you some more health and stuff like that there. Alright, so skills, there's a lot of skills here. Not a tremendously huge amount, but a lot. So you have offense, you have guns, throwing, crossbows, melee, you have dodge and evasion. You have stealth, hacking, lockpicking, pickpocketing, traps. You have technology for mechanics, electronics, chemistry, biology, tailoring. I don't know why tailoring is technology, but okay. You have psi, thought control, psychokinesis, and maththermics. Sure. Metathermics. Sorry, I thought that said math. Metathermics, there we go. And finally, social is persuasion, intimidation, and mercantile. All those things being said, I am going to go with throwing weapons. And I believe we can max this out at 15. I'm going to go with melee. And I'm going to max that out at 15 as well. And then I'm going to go with dodge and evasion. I'm going to max both of these out. So dodge increases your chance to avoid melee attacks. And evasion increases your chance to avoid ranged attacks. Alright, additionally, I'm going to want to max out stealth, I think. And then we're going to go with maybe 12 points up in hacking. We're going to do 12 points up in lockpicking. And we're going to do 12 points up in pickpocketing. And then the remaining points are going to go into traps. So we have 9 points up in traps, and then there we go, right down the line. So that's going to be pretty much it. I'm not going to do anything else in any of these other things. Now that leads us to our feats. Now I want you to think, or I want you to realize how many feats there actually are in this game. There's a million of them, it seems. Alright, so this is what you're going to look at right now. That still seemed like quite a bit, right? Let's go take a little bit of a slower look. That seems like quite a bit. Alright, now let's blow your mind. And we're already outside the ones that we normally saw. And look at all of these feats. Look at them. There's so many feats. It's insane. There's so many. So, yeah, that's going to happen. Alright, I have no idea what the best one is going to be. I played around, again, a little bit with this, but we'll see. Your non-critical firearm crossbow and melee attacks deal additional mechanical damage equal to your level. Doesn't seem very useful. Nimble reduces armor penalty. I think I'm going to go with this. It grants you a bonus to... Or maybe not. I don't know how much we're going to... Reduces pickpocketing time. Opportunist. Increases damage against rooted, stunned, and incapacitated targets by 25%. And against slow targets by 15%. With weapons, armed attacks, and throwing knives. I think I'm going to go with that one. And then, let's see. Do we have anything else? I think I might go with hit and run. I checked this one out before. Let's see here. Every time you kill an enemy with your melee or ranged weapons, your movement points are reset to 25. Cannot exceed your maximum if they were both below that number. Okay, so... yeah, let's go with this. We'll accept this. It's going to be my 2 feats. There's a whole bunch there, guys, so, I mean, we're barely scratching the surface, but let's see. Alright, now, when you guys first get this game and you play it on your own, the writing's going to be really, really small. I have changed it to be quite a bit larger, so it's easier to read, and I think I would have done this on my own anyway. So, let's get underway, shall we? Alright. Hadrian Tanner. Alright, last topic, of course, earthquake repairs. Continue. What's the situation at the South Tunnel? Gorski says, got to dig deeper to plant the explosives, or we risk more damage to the tunnel. Vera Hale, almost everyone is working shifts up there. Shouldn't be too long now. He nods. Gorski, how's the security looking? Let's see here. We'll continue on. Got one man at the cave exit, and that's enough as far as I'm concerned. Automated security is strong there, and as long as we know the crossroads and the cove are clear, no one can sneak up on us. Also got one man at the underpassages, and he's been ordered not to open the gate no matter what. The last thing we need right now are those bloody lurkers sneaking up on us. Everyone else is up at the platform securing workers and tunnels. Good, good. If no one has anything else to add, then we'll conclude this council meeting. Actually, just one more thing. In case you weren't informed already, I admitted a new citizen to the station. That Studs McGee fellow? Yes, I think he will be a good addition to the station. He and Vencel are still at the range, but they should be done any moment now, I believe. You put too much trust in your tests, Tanner. All I care about is how he handles live action, not how many points he got. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Best put him to work immediately. We need all hands on deck right now. Indeed, that is all. Vera, Gorski. Alright, and that is the opening little dealy, guys. We're going to run through the training simulation, I believe, and then we're probably going to break off the episode. I will do at least one more episode, despite whether it's going to be a first look episode or the continuation of the full LP. You guys have to decide again. I'm going to probably mention this a few times throughout. I think I said a few times, but a few times throughout. I'm going to mention that you guys need to leave a comment down below to see whether or not you want to see more of the game or just the short little 1 to 3 episode first look. Please let me know, guys. Please let me know. Alright, Vencel. An unexpected yawn interrupts Vencel. He instinctively raises his left hand to cover his mouth, forgetting that he is wearing a respirator. A tiny smile creeps up your face due to this very fact, yet you understand that after so many hours of testing, these kinds of lapses tend to sneak up on people. He soon continues, "Excuse me. All in all, Studs McGee, as far as I'm concerned, we're done here. I've got a few other things to do, but unless you'd like to have another go at the testing range, you have no reason to stay here any longer. As a matter of fact, I'd like to give it one more try. I never had access to a range like this before, so why not make the most of it while I'm here?" Alright, we're going to start the tutorial. His tired eyes aren't exactly radiating joy at your response, but he still nods. "No problem, but know that it won't affect your previous results. I guess it's best that we go through the whole procedure as if this is your first time at the range." Okay, I'll now open the gate for you to go through. As before, I'll be watching you through the cameras. We'll continue once you get past the gate. I'm ready, Vencel. That was really loud. Alright, so basic camera movement is done by the mouse. It locks to your screen, but not 100%. Like, I have a little bit of a hard time going to the right if I go too far. So just be aware of that, but it will lock to your screen. There's a lot of options in this game too, guys. I think this is actually warranted showing you here. Alright, you have autosave on transitions, retain previous quick save, and autosave, automatically overwrite saves. Warning when loading partially compatible save file. Alright, you have video options, not too much there, full screen and resolution. You have all these different volumes, which is pretty nice. Then you have all these interface things. This is actually quite a bit here. And I've changed my dialogue background and stuff a little bit here. And I've changed it from the normal portraits to the large font for the dialogue, and then all the other stuff is pretty much the same. I have large font for the log as well. And anyway, guys, there's a lot of stuff here. I'm going to actually accept that. I'm going to go back to the options. There's controls here. You can actually change all of the hotkeys that you want. You can mouse lock full screen. You can take that off and right-click scrolling. It's a little bit weird, but it works. And additionally, you can automatically open doors, automatically end turn, and combat taunts. Alright, so we're going to continue, and we're going to resume. So if you right-click and drag, you move the game around. It's kind of weird, like I said. You don't really see that very often. Usually it's a middle mouse click, and the cursor stays with the screen, so it's a bit strange. Also, WASD does not move your camera around. If you don't want to pan to the edges of the screen, you'll have to use your arrow keys. Again, you can, of course, remap everything if you wanted to, but that's where it's at. There's no zooming or unzooming in the game that I've noticed. And if you hold Alt, you'll see all the various things that you can actually deal with. Right now, what we need to do is come over this way. So we are now in here, and inside there's a cabinet and some shelves, so we're going to step into the room fully. Alright, intercom. Can you hear me? Loud and clear. Great, now pick up your weapons and armor from the cabinet. I think there's a few EMPs left on the shelf as well. Press tab to highlight, of course, and Z can reverse the order. I don't know why you'd want to do that. You can also press Control A to take all items from a container. All hotkeys are, of course, defaulted. There will be 3 bots to fight against you, just like the first time, so choose an appropriate weapon to make sure that you wear that armor. There was a guy a few years ago who forgot to put the armor on, and, well, it didn't end pretty. Take those bots out. Okay? Ring me when you're ready to proceed, or if you have any questions. Understood. Alright, I'm going to hit Control A, and I'm going to loot everything, and then I'm going to come over here to the shelves. I'm going to Control A again, and then we're going to hit Tab. I'm going to hit, what was it, R? No, I can't remember. It was Z. Which is a bit weird. I don't know why or what that's supposed to change, but it's supposed to change something. Alright, so we're going to hit I. We're going to open up our inventory. Here is our inventory, our little paper doll. It does not appear that we can drag it anywhere, so it's always stuck in this particular spot. We're going to double click to add that over to our hot bar here. I want to be a knife wielder, but you know what? That's fine. We're going to use the knife for now. You'll see down here there's various things. I'm also going to equip the pistol. So the pistol's there. I'm going to try to reload. Reload weapon. What else do we have? Load a single bullet. That seems weird. You can also reload current weapon. I'm going to reload this weapon right here. There it is. It's all reloaded. We're ready to go. We're ready to go out and do murderous, horrible, awful things. And what we have to do to advance, ladies and gentlemen, is go to the intercom. Alright, I'm here. Got any combat tips for me? Let's see what he has to say here. Be prepared and fight smart. Brute force will only get you so far. You can initiate combat manually either by pressing enter or by clicking the button in the lower right corner of the screen, or when an enemy spots you. Hovering over any character will reveal their name, remaining health, and attitude toward the player in the form of a colored name tag. Right click will display more info regarding health and active effects on the top of the screen. Alright, combat in UnderRail is turn-based, which means that different characters take turns at performing their actions. Every time the combat begins, whoever has the highest initiative will get to play the first turn. Initiative stat has a base value which can be influenced by both agility and dexterity. However, should the player manually initiate combat, the player will always be the one to move first. Alright, when combat begins, action bar. Alright, we're going to skip over a lot of this stuff. Let's just get into it and let's open the game. So here we are. We are now up against these three guys. They seem very, very, very unhappy about us. But here's a little trick, guys. You can do this, and it works very, very well. You can actually just throw this out right into the middle here, and it should short-circuit all of them. And I think that might actually be all you really had to do, because they are actually all done at this point. So what are we going to do? We're going to hit spacebar to end our turn, and as you see, we can now advance further on. Now, when they're like this, I don't think you do a lot of damage. I think when they're still aggressive towards you, you actually do a decent chunk of damage. That's the easiest way to get through right at the beginning. So, there you have it. We are through the first area, and we are now into the second room. Good job, Studs McGee. Now I want you to pick up the items from that locker. There should be a battery, a hacksaw, and 2 lockpicks inside. He yawns. Use the lockpicks to unlock the door in the next room. You will then have to unlock the footlocker as well as that box before I let you through. Alright, by left-clicking a locked object, the skill necessary to unlock that particular type of lock will be displayed above it. To open mechanical locks, you will need a high enough lockpicking skill, and for electronic, a high enough hacking skill. Using a lockpick can either be done from the inventory or more easily from the action bar. In the first case, right-click on the lockpick and then left-click on the object you want to unlock, while in the second, drag the lockpick into the action bar slot, select it, and then use it on the object. Alright, let's ring you if I have any more questions. Alright, so we're going to go here. We're going to snag this up. I feel like we may have to address some of our sound issues here. Give me one sec, guys. I would like this to actually sound decent for all of you. I think right now maybe our ambient volume is just a little bit too loud. Maybe the effects need to be lowered just a little bit more. We'll see how that sounds. That static sound, not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, we're going to open up our inventory. We're going to drag. What we're actually going to do is we're going to right-click this, and we're going to charge up our little hacksaw here. And our hacksaw is charged. We'll put that on 6, and then we'll come over here to our lockpick and put that on 5. Alright, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to look at the door, and it's going to be like, it's locked, it needs mechanical 1. Which means we need to use a lockpick. I'm going to press 5 and lockpicking. I know it's very simplistic, guys. It's exactly what you would expect, and yeah, there you go. Alright, so we have picked it, and there's nothing else in here except for the box and the other thing. So what do we need for the box? It's an electronic lock. So we're going to go down here, we're going to press 6, and we're going to unlock this with hacking. Behold the power of hacking. Alright, lock disabled. We can open the box. It's empty, but it had to be done. Additionally, the footlocker needs to be unlocked with a lockpick, so we shall use it. And it appears that every time you use a lockpick, it's a one-time use thing. It doesn't stay in your inventory. So for everything you want to pick, you have to, well, have a lockpick for it. Alright, good. Now for the final room. Here you've got 1 sentry bot and a camera. Try to sneak around the bot if you can. This one will not shut down after just 1 hit, just to let you know. Ah, okay. You can enter stealth mode both in and out of combat, but only if no one can see you while you're activating it. While in stealth mode, all characters, friend or foe, will display an icon above their heads which will indicate whether or not they can see you or suspect that you are sneaking around. Your skill, proximity to a character, illumination, and even whether you're in front or behind, it all determines how well you remain hidden. Suffering a hit while in stealth mode will instantly reveal you, and so will bumping into any character. Also, the camera can see you no matter how good you think you're hiding. So, it'd be best if you were able to avoid its lines of sight completely. The stealth offers many advantages. You can pick how and when to initiate combat, or even avoid it altogether, which can completely change the outcome of an encounter. Also, certain abilities work only when you are in stealth, and can be used to cause massive damage on unsuspecting targets. For instance, sound plays an important role in UnderRail, since loud sounds can attract characters to investigate what is going on. Using quiet weapons like crossbows or knives is a good way to make sure a silent assassin remains truly silent. Alright, of course there are drawbacks too, the most important of which is armor penalty. Wearing heavy armors can severely reduce your effectiveness and stealth skill, or even downright make it useless. So please be aware of what gear you're using, and, well, that's a pretty critical thing. You don't want to wear heavy armor and try to sneak around. That's pretty basic. That tactical vest might be the most appropriate thing for sneaking, but it'll do for now. Okay. Alright. You know what? We totally didn't do what he told us to do, and we never actually equipped our tactical vest here, our insulated overcoat. So we will equip that now. We were supposed to do that before, but yeah, you know me, guys. I tend to forget things that are critically important. So, we're going to sneak. We're going to go into stealth mode. And I'm going to hit the wrong button there. Alright, we're going to sneak over here. You obviously move a little bit slower while you're in stealth mode. It's kind of a gimme. And I see a camera over there. And it seems to be looking off to the right. So we're going to watch it. When it comes back to this side, we're going to make a run for it. Alright, here we go. Man, look at that, guys. We snuck past our first enemy. Like a boss. Now, we can still go back and try to kill it. In fact, I think I'd like to. But that's the way you could sneak past stuff. You just gotta look for that camera that was up on the wall there and, well, sneak right past it. It's pretty much the size of it. I'm not seeing anything really happening right now. I think we're outside the line of sight. Aha! The thing should, there it is. So he bumped into us. I was actually trying to figure out how to initiate combat. I think it was enter. That's what we needed to do that. Alright, so we are out of stealth now, and we have our little sentry bot right in front of us. We're going to use our knife and slash it. We're only doing 10 damage a pop, but you know what? That's okay. We're going to continue to hit him, and now we're out of action points. We still have a little bit of movement we can do. In fact, I think I'm just going to stand right in front of him. Or a little bit off to the side. I wanted to try to get behind him. We'll try that next time. Alright, I'm going to hit spacebar to end the turn. It's going to shoot. It does 0 damage. This is a training exercise after all. Alright, it's our turn again. We're going to go around behind him here and attack. 91%. Critical hit. Ooh, he missed. Wow, we missed twice. I don't actually think I missed the last time I did this. It's a little off-putting. It's okay. We'll take a couple more shots to our face. It's fine. We're going to get around behind him. And we're going to end him. 1, 2, 3, and done. Alright, and from that we actually got extra movement points. We can see the security camera, the intercom, and all that. And just walk over here. We hit spacebar, we end the turn, and we're officially out of combat at this point. We can go back into stealth mode if we wanted to, and walk around. So we're going to come down here. I kind of wish there was a little bit of a zoom factor, but again, it's not really required. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty much going to do it for this little dealie here. We're going to walk back over, talk to our boy, and I think I'm going to break off the episode. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to decide whether this is going to be a full series or a first look miniseries, 1 to 3 episodes, or the full LP. Let me know. Like I said, if there's a lot of interest in the game they want to see, and you guys want to see me actually play it from beginning to end, I'll give it my best shot and I'll try to do that. If you guys, if there's not a lot of interest, maybe I'll just back off of it and just do it as a first look. Either way, it's up to you guys. 100% totally up to you. Anyway, let's talk to him. Get ready here. Well done, Studs McGee. I hope you're satisfied. Now he yawns. Alright, will my performance in this run affect my overall results? Nope. Alright, how about I do another one, eh? No, please, no. Aren't you tired already? Just no. I'm done here. It's time to check out my new room is what I get to say. Alright, guys, this is where I'm going to break it off. I hope you had a lot of fun. This game looks really amazing. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. I realize that the tutorial is just a rough idea how the game plays. There's going to be a ton more. You saw the amount of feats and just different things you're going to be able to do. Character customization is going to be a pretty big thing, so you guys might play a completely different way than I play. Maybe you want to be one of those dudes who just runs in with a big sledgehammer and smashes skulls. Maybe you want to sit back from afar shooting with a sniper rifle. It's really up to you what you guys want to do. Anyway, if you want any more information about the game, the developer, or any of that wonderful fun stuff, it will be down below in the description of the video. And I look forward to hearing what you guys want me to do with this game. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share it. And I will see you guys again. I don't know when. Every day, I guess. I mean, it's a thing, right? I see you guys every day. It's totally fine. But I'll see you again when the next episode, whether it's a first look, episode 2, or a full LP episode 2. Until then, my name is Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.